Hello and welcome to week 2. I hope you found the material for week 1 interesting and that you're ready to get started on week 2. So week 2 asks that you read chapter 2 in the McGee book and chapter 3 in the Shigori book. I also want to remind you that you should be securing your 4 journal articles for your upcoming assignment that is due on the 13th, and I'll be showing you how you can do that today. Our focus this year is the development and the process of literacy, looking at key milestones during the early childhood years, looking at language acquisition, what the research says on brain development, what the role of parents, family, educators is in this endeavor. How important is the environment? How do children become aware of the sounds of language? What is the role of play in oral language development and how important is that? We seem to lose a lot of playtime these days in school because we're so concerned about everybody being ready. How can we best foster conversations at home and in the classroom? So in addition to the text, I have a number of materials that I want to share with you, and I'll only briefly be reviewing them with you today, and you'll need to spend a little bit more time exploring. So the first one is the NACE position statement, and NACE is the Early Childhood Association, and this particular statement is developmentally appropriate practices in early childhood programs serving children from birth through age 8. This is what was referenced on our syllabus but did not have the right link, so this is the PDF file for you. You can save this, you can print it, you can download it, whatever you wish, so that you can have access to this and use it going forward. Our next link is a wonderful website called 0 to 3. And this is from the National Center for Infants, Toddlers, and Families. And you can see, in addition to the place that I've taken you, Early Literacy and Language Tips and Tools, you can click and read more on Getting Ready to Read. So this is a booklet for nurturing early literacy skills from birth to 5, birth to 3, so you'll click and read more. Tips for choosing books for babies and toddlers, read more. Why do we begin with infants? Learning to write and draw. So there's a ton of things here that are really cool. Tips and tools on language, songs and rhymes, and again we click. Storytelling in the first 3 years, again we can click. Now in addition to this, you can see that you have all of these other links. So if you were not familiar with this website, it's something you want to get familiar with, and I know this will be of interest to at least one of you. There's a link down here for military family projects you might want to take a look at, or if you have an interest in early Head Start. This is very, very neat. There's also a series of 12 podcasts that talks about the research in childhood development and parenting practices. So you could listen and download if you had the time, or know that it's here for future months. You'll also see people pose questions, and there are answers and ways that you can read more. So very, very neat site. You could register so that you get this information in your email, and obviously there's no cost to do this. The next site I wanted to share with you was Literacy Milestones Birth to Age 3. And this again is from one of my favorite sites, Reading Rockets. I hope you're familiar with it. And this simply lists very nicely what most babies and toddlers should be able to do by age 3. Now I know at least 2 of you have young children, so I think this will be of particular interest. Are your kids doing these things? If not, how can you encourage them to do this? Again, if you're not familiar with this site, Reading Rockets, again, I think that you should certainly subscribe. It's free. I get wonderful things in my email each week from them, keeping me posted on whatever is new. And there's just a wealth of material in here for teaching reading, for helping struggling readers, everything absolutely under the sun. So excellent, excellent website. Our next one is Drawing and Writing Stories. And this is also from a nice website. It's a cooperation of the National Council of Teachers of English and the International Reading Association called Read, Write, and Think. You've got classroom resources that provide lesson plans, all kinds of activities and printouts. You've got professional development area. You've got videos, so you can see literacy in action, so that might help if you need an extra classroom. Parent and after-school resources by grade level, starting with kindergarten. So this is kind of neat. Now, I gave you one particular lesson plan to take a look at, which is Drawing and Writing Stories. And you can see there's a preview, the resources. You can then click and see the standards that are covered, the national standards, and you could find the state standards and the Common Core standards as well that this will be aligned with. What resources would be helpful to have for this particular lesson plan, along with activities, websites, what you should do to prepare, the instructional plan, and related resources. So this is just one of so many. So you could find teacher resources by grade. You can, if you have a wonderful lesson plan, you could contribute. This is from a teacher. So very nicely done. And you have some comments, or you could post a comment here if you wish to. I don't think anybody's really, oh, somebody just did great lesson. All right, so again, couple of websites that you're going to want to make sure that you have access to. Okay, excuse me, all kinds of things popping up on my computer right now. So now where I've taken you is you remember that I said that you need to get your 4 articles. So I'm going to show you the library. But before I do that, let me also just call your attention to what else is on this page, and that you have 2 short videos, Early Literacy Study and Early Words for Years Writing, Drawing, and Writing. So I would like you to watch both of these for this week. Now, to find your articles, you don't need to leave your desktop or your computer or Blackboard. All you need to do is click on NSU Libraries, and it will open to the library. It will ask you to sign in with your same username and password. Now, I've already signed in, and I've clicked on Articles, and I typed in Early Literacy, just as an example. And it's going to search all the databases. It's doing a power search, and then I can narrow it down. I can say I only want academic journals. And notice then it says here are some related subjects: literacy programs, early literacy, reading. So I can narrow this down even more. You can also see what it is that these are. And does the library have this? Can you access it? So that's one way, using the library. You'll remember that I also told you another thing that you could do, let me open another window, is you could use Google search and ask for Google Scholar. So here you can see scholar.google.com. And if I use Google Scholar, you'll see it looks a little different. And I'm going to ask for early literacy. Now you know from our assignment what it is that you need to be looking for. But here I go. So early literacy, funny, Marie Clay, the book, that's the book that we are using as one of our books. Um, but I can, you know, include citations. I can ask for more recent ones. So I can say I want only things from 2010 going forward. All right. So you can access these here, and that's another way of getting the articles that you need. So I'm going to close that out. I'm going to go to the two things you want to be paying attention to. So let's take a look at that assignment again. 4 articles from professional journals. Again, you could use page 18 as a guide, or you can just do what I just did, Google Scholar or the library. We want 2 on oral language, pre-K to 2, so you want to put those parameters in, and or language assessment, whatever is your interest, and 2 to focus on written language or writing assessment, pre-K to 2. So either instruction or assessment, whatever be your interest. So you want to find those and start getting that under your belt. The other thing that I want to call your attention to, and I know you all have started your discussions by doing your introduction, this week you're going to be posting your take on what is language and how does it develop. Now, don't write a whole long thing. A paragraph is fine. And then you're going to respond to somebody else, because when you read the others, you'll see, hey, did they have a different point of view than I had? And that's what we want to see. So that should be it. If you have questions, I want you to ask. You can always help each other if you need to as well. I will be out of town from July 5th to July 12th. So I will be checking my email, however, and try to answer you as quickly as I possibly can. I won't necessarily have access, good internet access every minute, so be a little patient with me if you do have a question. You can also text me during that time, and you have my cell phone number under the instructor contact, and I can get back to you in that way. Have a wonderful week, and I hope you're enjoying the material.